share, recipe share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share. Recipe Share, Recipe Share. Share a little recipe with Recipe Share.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Recipe Share, a program on AADL TV where we take a few minutes to talk about recipes in a featured category. Today's category is On the Grill. I'm Katie, and today, as usual, I'm joined today by Beth and Elizabeth to tell us about the recipes. So Beth, tell us what you chose.
Okay, I had every intention of doing something unusual, like fruit or, I had some ideas, but when it got right down to it, I made some Greek burgers. I used ground turkey, which is not my typical go-to for a burger, but I thought I'd try it. I added some feta cheese, some Kalamata olives, some chopped onion, and then at the last minute, I also did eggs and panko, and one egg and panko. And then I decided to just throw in some handfuls of spinach because I had it. So I threw that in, made them into patties. And I was a little reluctant. I was like, should I really put this on the grill? Maybe put a pan on it because turkey, it's kind of falls apart. But I looked it up and I read that you should just chill it for 20 minutes in the fridge. So I put it back in the fridge and I took a picture of these burgers on the grill. Trust me, they look gorgeous. And then I have one that I had on the plate. So yeah, I was really pleased with how they turned out. They did not fall apart and they were very tasty all the way around.
Wow, I love that. I mean, what a great tip to chill your turkey burger before putting it on the grill, because I think that is a problem that is like often had.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So I just turned my grill down for a little while and for like 20 minutes while I put it in the fridge and let them chill. So it really made the difference.
That sounds great. I love it. I love the feta. I love the olives. Did you chop the spinach or full leaves?
I just kind of not really chopped it. I probably would have, because and you'll see in the picture, it's, got some bright greenness to it, but I kind of liked how that looked too. It managed to stay together. So yeah, and you know what? I only had slider buns, and that worked out fine, even though it was pretty. You'll see the ratio of meat to bun is pretty big meat, but yeah, it was tasty. That's something I like to do anyway, like as a rule, if I'm trying to think of a way to fix up my burgers. So
yum.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Elizabeth? What did you make?
Sure. So I woke up this morning like living in fear that I've shared this recipe before. I don't have a note of it. If I did, I think it was season 1. I apologize, but I'm just going for it. I put it in the cookbook, and this is my marinade for chicken that I make all the time in the summer on the grill. It is delicious and easy, and everyone that I serve it to is like literally asks for the recipe. When I was looking in my email for the original recipe that my mom had sent me, I saw that I'd forwarded it to 9 different people who had asked for it over the past years. So anyway, my mom calls it Sesame Chicken. And I will just share the recipe for the marinade. So basically it's a half a cup of soy sauce, a half a cup of canola oil or olive oil, a quarter cup of water, a half teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of ground ginger, some red pepper flakes to taste, a teaspoon of brown sugar, and 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds. You combine that all in a freezer bag and then put chicken thighs in there. And that usually works for a pound. If I'm doing 2 pounds, I just double the recipe. And then I mix it around. You guys know how to marinate. Lay it flat in the fridge. And then, flip the bag over. I have done this last minute and only marinated it for 4 hours, like realizing that I wanted to make it that night. I also have marinated it for like 8 or 10 hours if I do it in the morning for dinner. It tastes fabulous no matter what. I've been making this, like, this is like, I made this in college on like a tiny, like, charcoal grill. I make it now. I usually throw some corn, like some corn cobs, or some corn on the cob, like on the grill too, in its husk, and that like grills at the same time, and it's delicious. Yeah, it's fabulous. I don't have a photo because my grill is really old and it makes things like black, despite my attempts at cleaning it. I'm waiting to buy a new grill until we move, because it's such a pain of a thing to move. But as soon as I do move, I will have a brand new grill, and I'm very excited about. But my current grill is like 8 years old, and it's just not getting as clean as I would like anymore. But I do make this all the time. It is absolutely delicious. Everyone loves it. Super easy, great marinade to throw together. And the chicken thighs are like so easy to grill because you can like, chicken thighs are so forgiving. So yeah, delicious.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, the flavors sound wonderful. It's not your typical barbecue flavor like what I normally think of. So I love that. Definitely want to give it a try. They're flavors that we cook with all the time, just not usually on the grill. So that's awesome. Something new for sure. I definitely don't think that you've shared it before. It sounds awesome. The only thing that I wonder, just like, because my personal preference, if it would be okay if you use chicken breast.
I'm sure it would. I mean, you probably would need to marinate, like it might be not as forgiving on the marinade time because they're thicker, but if you
slice them up beforehand or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I bet you could do veggies too.
Yeah.
I was just thinking though, I love how the sesame seeds would give it some texture to it too. And I love the flavor. So that sounds really yummy.
And another thing I'll say is if we have leftovers, they're really good to like slice it up cold on salad the next day. It's like, especially like I've sliced it up on kind of like a slaw or a salad, and it's very yummy too. So highly recommend. And I'm glad you don't think I shared it. I just like, we've done so many. I'm like, how have I not shared this? But I don't think I have. So anyway. All right, cool. Katie, what about you?
All right. Well, I will say that this category was a little intimidating for me. I like barely know how to turn our grill on. I definitely do not cook with it. So it's like not my department, but I was excited to pick something simple to try. So I did find this really simple recipe from this website, Julie's Eats and Treats, and it's for grilled barbecue pineapple shrimp bites. And so I did happen to have a little barbecue gathering this weekend, so it was a pretty opportune time to sort of try this out as a little appetizer. It was the first thing that we threw on the grill, and I thought it was really good. So it's really, really simple. There's only 4 ingredients. You have a 12-ounce bag of raw, peeled, deveined, tail-on, extra large shrimp, which you've thawed. And then this recipe calls for a pineapple. I used sliced canned pineapple that I just cut up with kitchen shears right in the can, and it made the perfect size pieces of pineapple for this recipe. It calls for a cup of barbecue sauce. I used Stubbs spicy barbecue sauce. That's my favorite. And then a tablespoon of barbecue seasoning, which I used the rub that we have, which is pork barrel barbecue all-American seasoning and rub, a tablespoon of that, and then also threw in a tablespoon of dark brown sugar on the recommendation of my husband, who uses that rub all the time. He says it needs sugar. So do recommend adding that to rub if yours doesn't have sugar in it, because it definitely added like a little nice sweetness to it. But I did have a little bit of extra, so I was able to put it on pretty liberally and then had a little leftover at the end as well. But what you do is you just take your pineapple chunk and you put it in the middle of your shrimp and put a toothpick through it, put them all out in a tray, and you just brush on half your barbecue sauce and sprinkle on your rub. And I've got a picture of what that looks like before you put it on the grill. And then you put them on the grill sauce side down, and then you sauce over top again, and then sprinkle over top again, and you cook them for 3 minutes, and then you flip them. Got a picture of them on the grill. And I realized that as I was getting ready to do this recipe, I realized that I was not only intimidated by using the grill, but also cooking shrimp. I'm always super worried that I'm going to overcook them. And so I tend to avoid shrimp recipes, but I was glad I went for this. 3 minutes on each side was perfect. They came out great. They look beautiful coming off the grill and onto the platter. Like I said, it was the first thing that we cooked, so I honestly felt like I could have eaten all of them myself. I thought they were so tasty. My husband thought they were just okay, but he isn't really a big shrimp fan, but they went over really well at the party. Actually, Beth was there, and I think she might have had one or two of these.
I'm trying to, I remember you talking about the pineapple, but I don't think I did have it.
Okay.
That's
There was
something
a
else.
lot of food sort of happening, and they came out like very, very first. So,
And since you did mention while we were at your house briefly, you mentioned pineapple. And
Yeah.
so as I was I had an idea of a thing that included pineapple, but I sort of stayed away from it because I thought that you might have done it for that.
so what you heard me probably talking about was another thing that I was thinking about trying, but I ended up slicing the pineapple too thin to put it on the grill. The tool that I have to core and slice pineapple makes really thin slices. And so I was afraid of putting it on the grill. I did end up still marinating them, and we grilled them a couple days later. The few pieces that I thought were good. And Andy, my husband, really liked those like a lot better than these shrimps. He was like, this is awesome. We need to do this again. So we actually have 2 pineapples in the kitchen right now because we're working on our grilling pineapple technique. Just was not ready for this episode quite yet. But that's cool. You should try it too. I mean, grilling pineapples so far has been awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That sounds, I was going to say, I love the flavor of grilled pineapple. It's delicious to me. And that sounds like so easy and fun. And like the presentation would be great with those, that like they would look awesome just coming off the grill.
They're really pretty. I was at a local restaurant recently where they had, I don't know that it was grilled pineapple, but it was marinated in something spicy. And it was a ham and cheese sandwich on a brioche bun. I didn't have it, my husband did, but it looked really good. So that's what kind of inspired me. So another time though.
For sure.
Well, I want to try that, Katie. That sounds awesome.
The other thing that I would say about it is that I didn't do this, but you could definitely prep it like pretty early on in your day. If you were, having a party in the afternoon, like I would do this first thing, which I waited it until later. So just to get it, it's one of those things that you could just get out of the way, like right in the beginning. And then, yeah, you're right. It comes out wonderfully. So you should try it.
Definitely.
Okay, well, thank you for watching Recipe Share, and be sure to click the link below to look at the event page on aadl.org to find the recipes that we talked about and to share your own in the comments. Join us next time when we'll be talking about super smoothies. We're looking forward to seeing what you've been making, so thanks for sharing.
Recipe Share, share a little recipe